Hello everyone and welcome to a second royal reading today here at MadWorldTarot, a Wednesday afternoon. Some loud DIY work going on next door, so if you hear banging and drilling and angle grinding, I do apologise. I have the Rebel Heart Tarot on the tarot table for this reading. We are looking at Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. That's my legal name. The claim on that interview with Emily Chang, it was on the Bloomberg channel, I can't remember what the name of the show is, but she was in that lurid yellow outfit. Ooh, she's moved on from the beige in a big way. And she was asked what names on her passport. She was a bit cagey about answering that, but she did say the children are known as Sussexes, and that's their name, that's the legal name, and that's the truth. And she was most insistent on this in her word salady way. And I'm wondering whether shots have been fired across the bow by Prince William, because Neil Sean in his YouTube videos yesterday, I think it was yesterday, Mr. Allegedly said that allegedly Prince William has informed the Sussexes and the Yorks that when the time comes, when he is king, their titles will be removed. He has told them this. Neil Sean story. So as I say, it's a big fat allegedly. We're going to have a look at this with the Rebel Heart Tarot. We're going to do a Celtic cross from Meghan's perspective. That's why we've got the Rebel Heart Tarot on the tarot table. She, of course, quit the royal family in high dudgeon because they made her wear tights, stockings, whatever you want to call them. And how could they? How dare they? And she found her freedom from these oppressive undergarments, I suppose you can call them that. And well, she's still clinging on desperately to the title that was bestowed on her when the late Queen thought that Meghan was going to be a devoted servant of the crown. Not so much, as we all know. So Celtic cross coming up. How's it for Meghan right now? Is this a kind of preemptive strike? Possibly in the case of a divorce or Prince William acting, you wind up the squaddies, get them busy, the flying monkeys, make this claim, say this is how it is, this is who I am legally, and do your worst and I'll see you in court. What is going on? I want to know. And of course, this is just tarot and it is for fun and entertainment. Ooh, card nearly went flying. And of course, it is my opinion and all just speculation, and I just read energy here, and a big fat disclaimer in the box below. Please read it, do your own research, form your own opinions, all of that stuff. Celtic cross coming up with the Rebel Heart Tarot. Nice bright pink, and of course to match with the bright yellow on it as well. Why not? I mean, we like it garish here at MadWorldTarot. So, see what's going on. Five of Wands in reverse. It's a heavy defeat card, playing dirty as well, and it's competition and climbing the greasy pole, but sliding back down when the card is in reverse. Somebody who's losing, somebody who thought that they were very adept at climbing that greasy pole and thought that they had won and thought they'd achieved everything and the status and beaten those nasty Brits at their own game. Not so much. I think the royals have played a slow and clever strategic game. I do think this is my personal opinion, that they were advised how to play this game and they played it. This is where we are now today. So let's see what's going on with Meghan. Try not to get that card messed up. Ace of Pentacles. Now this is interesting because she's laying claim to this title, the Sussex title, Duchess of Sussex. This is who I am legally, and this is the truth. This is what her entire world revolves on. Her future depends on this. Her money, her path going forward depends on this title. Without this title, she is nothing. We're going to check that. But very, very, very important that she lays claim to this. This is mine. This is what I own. This is what belongs to me. This is how I am going to feather my nest going forward. And very clear that she intends this on her own. And a lot of people are commenting in their reviews of the leftovers of With Love, Megan that have been served up now on Netflix, that it's very clear that she is pivoting towards singledom, allegedly. What's her problem? What's crossing her? What is crossing her? Page of Cups. Page of Cups is messenger, it's loyalty for me. And she hasn't been loyal to the crown. She's been anything but loyal. She hasn't been supportive. She hasn't been kind. She hasn't been there for them in their hour of need, their many hours of need. She's taken every possible pot shot at them that she could when they were in their darkest moments. She really got those old stilettos out and gave them a good kick in the head, really. She hasn't really done herself any favors. That's how that's reading for me. It's also maybe a need for an apology, sorry, something like that. That might have helped somewhere along the line if she had just shut up, or if she just apologized, or if she just sent a message of condolence or sympathy or something like that. But she couldn't bring herself to do that. And that is what the challenge is now. She's also, with that card, that's the first layer of energy in this energy cake, basically. The second layer is that she's making a play for sympathy to people. This is who I am. This is who I am legally, and this is who my children are, and so on and so on. So that when time comes to take the titles away, as time is coming, I do believe, people are going to say, oh, nasty William, how dare he? What a horrible thing to do to his sister-in-law and his niece and nephew. Horrible, nasty man. That kind of thing. She's, I can't remember who it was, I think Tom Bauer said that she plans years ahead. She's planting the seeds in these things for when the time comes. So what's going on behind the scenes? Is there a panic on? What is going on? What? We've got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. There is a panic on. It's a 7 years of bad luck card. This card is showing up in almost every reading at the moment. It tells me that the 7-year itch is upon the happy couple, and it could be the end. I do believe it is the end. I think the end has come, but we just haven't been told. And so she hasn't gained what she expected to gain out of the marriage. She hasn't feathered her nest in the way she expected she would, secured her future in the way she believed she would. And if they take the titles away, then what is she left with, and how will she monetize herself going forward? Because that's all she knows how to do. If she's not trading on some man that she's shacked up with, then what is she and who is she without that name, that title? Interesting energy. Yeah, there is a panic, and it's a financial panic. And again, that, in my opinion, is the only kind of panic she knows. It's not emotional. This is money. It's about financial insecurity. What's her goal with this statement, this declaration? 8 of Swords. She is feeling that she's stuck in a situation with that Ace of Swords, 8 of Swords. Feeling that she is stuck, but she could also be preparing some kind of trap for Prince William. And I think that that is more compelling energy-wise for me as an energy reader, that she is preparing the ground, laying the groundwork for some sort of trap for him to walk into if he does try his luck with this title removal business. Then, well, step in there and see what happens to you. It's almost kind of baiting energy, I have to say. So what's been going on in the recent past? Has there been some sort of news in Montecito, some message or something? What's been happening on the title front? We got the Page of Wands in reverse, the bad news card. Interesting, because I think whether it's direct messaging or not, and I don't think it's direct. I don't think Prince William sat, up at night and typed something on his laptop and then got it printed and then sent by post. Or however, a carrier pigeon. I don't know how these things work. I think that it's the briefing in the press that has got to her with that Page of Wands in reverse. That's very much press briefing. And we know that they communicate like this. All the royals seem to communicate with each other through the press. Isn't it fascinating that they do that? And it's so infantile, really. But anyway, Page of Wands in reverse, she's received the bad news. She knows, whether directly from him or through the press, which I think is more likely, my personal opinion. She's received the message, and so she is busy cooking up this plot, this trap for him. What's going to happen next? Just asking. What is coming? Ooh, the world. Ooh, the world. She could lose the world. It could come sooner than she thinks with that World card in reverse. The failure of all her plans and schemes, her hopes and ambitions. The takedown. It's very possible that the end is coming sooner rather than she thinks. And that's giving me strange chills, not good chills. Unpleasant chills. I'm reading energy, so for me I think it's great, brilliant, bring it on. But for her, and it's her energy that I'm reading, this spells doom. This World card in reverse. Instead of this successful outcome of her plans for global conquest, once she met the hapless has-been, this is the failure of everything, and very public failure as well. So all these cards squished up here, which I keep trying to unsquish, but I'm not successfully unsquishing. How does she view her status, her title, herself as Meghan, Duchess of Sussex? Should be the Duchess of Sussex, but she seems to like to leave that out. What does she think of it? King of Swords, and it's in reverse. I believe with that energy, she's already preparing for possible legal action with that King of Swords in reverse. This is so important to her. So important to her financially, and in terms of being able to monetize it going forward, and her children of course as well, that it looks like she's got the lawyers on the phone already with this King of Swords in reverse, because this is who you're going to call when you're worried. You're going to call the legal minds. You're going to call your agent. You're going to call people who are strategic, who are professionals, who are experts. You're going to get them on the phone and say, what can I do to save this? Oh, I know what. Go on this podcast or whatever it was, this interview with Emily Chang, and get very clearly the point across that this is who you are legally. You fire the first shot. Okay, so let's scooch the King of Swords out the way and see what pressure she's under. Ace of Wands in reverse. You see, it's Page of Wands in reverse kind of energy. Ace of Wands in reverse. It's aces are fresh starts, and this is how does she start her life as possibly single woman on her own, new chapter of her life, when she hasn't got that, when she's nobody, she's little Miss Markle, she's reduced back to that instead of being Duchess of Sussex. And how does she get brand deals? How does she generate interest in herself, which is Ace of Wands, new projects, new creative projects, new brand initiatives, those kinds of things, big investments, big pushes, global kind of awareness of her when she's nothing and no one, when it's gone. Scooch that one out the way. Hopes and fears for little Miss Markle. 8 of Wands. She's hoping that she can motivate, rally the troops. That's the word I was looking for. Rally the troops with the 8 of Wands. PR, news, communications, messaging. Get the message out. I'm Sussex now. And get everyone behind this. Still using the HRH and private communications, those kinds of things. Get the squaddies all riled up. Get the press talking about it. And it is a talking point. It's been noted. And she wants it to be a talking point. She's hoping that she can take some of the energy out of whatever Prince William is doing. And she can get people on her side by rallying the troops. And the troops would be journalists who have turned pro-Sussex if they weren't already, that kind of thing. Favourable reporting, messaging about this. What's going to happen? And the real question I want to know is, who is she without the title? Going forward, because I do think this is something that Prince William is going to push through with. We're hearing so much about it. How will she cope with being just reduced to plain old Meghan Markle again? Will she cling on to Duchess of Sussex even when she's not allowed to? What's going to happen? Oh, we've got the Ace of Swords. We've got lots of aces in this reading. If I could just find them in the mess here. Ace of Wands in reverse, Ace of Pentacles, and then we get the Ace of Swords. It does look like it's going to be taken. That's the Ace of Swords in reverse. That's the announcement. The swift is kind of executioner energy. It's gone. Swords coming, cutting you out of the royal family, taking your titles away. So it is landing, and I know it's landing because I've got the World in reverse already. That's telling me that. This Ace of Swords, though, is she might retaliate in quite a savage way. There might be some quite ugly stuff that goes on. It could get legal with that Ace of Swords. It could really get legal. It could force her into the book that we all know is hanging around somewhere, those diaries, those journals that she claimed she found when they were cleaning out Frogmore Cottage. That kind of thing is in this Ace of Swords. But I think she's going to struggle. She's going to struggle to convince people that this is who she still is. She's not going to win that one. I do think there's going to be some scrapping, some legal toing and froing, that kind of stuff, some quite vicious communications, whether in the press or privately or in court or whatever. I think she's going to try her best to cling on to it. But this energy that's coming through is someone who's fallen off something very high and they're hanging on by their fingertips, and someone comes along with that Ace of Swords and chop chop. A rather gruesome mental image, but that's what came. And so I think she's going to cling on desperately for as long as she can, but it's not going to be successful. But it is going to be ugly. I'm getting that it is going to be quite damaging, but I think mostly, because I'm reading from her perspective, mostly damaging to her. Something to watch with some interest, I would say. That's my opinion. That's my reading. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.